In today's hospitality world, finding a leader who truly gets both sides of the house, operations and commercial strategy, that's a pretty rare thing. We're about to walk through the profile of a leader who does just that. This is a completely anonymous overview, so we can focus entirely on the skills, the experience, and the incredible results.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break it down. We'll start with a snapshot of their professional profile. Then we'll get into their leadership style, which is all about collaboration. From there, we'll dive into the hard numbers, the results they've driven. Then we'll look at how they build an amazing service culture. And finally, we'll wrap it all up to show why this candidate is absolutely executive ready.
All right, first things first. Let's just set the stage here and get a clear picture of this leader's background and where they've really made their mark.
So here's the quick rundown. We're looking at a leader with almost a decade in the business who has this really unique, balanced expertise. They're not just an ops person or just a salesperson. They're both. They have a deep understanding of the day-to-day hotel operations, but they can also drive the big-picture sales strategy. This makes them a complete business driver with a fantastic track record in those really tough, competitive, select service markets.
Okay, so that's the what. Now let's get into the how. What's the philosophy that guides them? It really all comes down to their hands-on, collaborative leadership style. And this quote, in their own words, really says it all, doesn't it? This isn't about giving orders from an office. It's about being in the trenches with the team, leading by example, and actually listening to what everyone has to say to find the best solution together. And that collaborative mindset is exactly how they develop their people. It's a really powerful system. First, they make sure to recognize good work. That builds morale. Then, they use clear, fair incentives to really drive performance. And maybe most importantly, they sit down and have real conversations about career goals. It's a whole approach designed to make people want to stay and grow.
So a great leadership style is fantastic, but how does that actually translate to the bottom line? Let's dig into the tangible results, the actual numbers.
This right here is a perfect example of their strategic thinking. They don't put all their eggs in one basket. They built strong relationships with local wedding venues to drive that weekend Smurf business. At the same time, they tapped into corporate travel from nearby development projects, and they even personally stepped in to win back a huge aerospace account. It's a smart, 360-degree approach to driving revenue. And that focus on excellence, it shows up everywhere. Through really targeted training and just a relentless focus on the guest, this leader consistently drove their property's guest service scores to be well above the brand standard.
You see that same commitment on the financial side, too. At an extended stay hotel where they were handling both sales and operations, their smart, disciplined approach to quoting and rate integrity led to steady, measurable growth in the average daily rate quarter after quarter.
But look, we all know that leadership is about more than just the numbers on a spreadsheet. So let's talk about this candidate's ability to build a team and a culture that truly puts people first.
It's the biggest question in our business, right? And for this leader, the answer isn't some corporate slogan. It's about what you do when things get really tough. And you have to hear this story because it says everything. A maid of honor, right before the wedding, loses the ring. Total panic. This leader doesn't just delegate the problem. They don't make excuses. They personally, in a suit and tie, get into a dumpster, find that ring, and completely save the day. That is what ownership looks like. And that whatever it takes attitude, they build it into the DNA of the whole hotel. They make sure that what the sales team promises is what the operations team delivers. They train the front desk to think like salespeople. They ensure that every single person and every department lives and breathes the brand's service promise. So, let's tie all this together. What does this all add up to for a potential employer? Let's summarize the unique value this candidate brings to the table. When you ask them to name their single greatest professional quality, this is their answer. It's so simple, but so powerful. It's the core belief that drives everything they do, a genuine passion for taking care of people, whether it's a guest or a member of their own team. And ultimately, that's what this all points to, a truly balanced leader. This isn't just an ops expert or a sales star. They are a complete business leader. They're just as comfortable managing a budget and enforcing brand standards as they are prospecting new clients and closing big deals. That combination is what makes them so incredibly effective. For more information on this candidate, please contact Scott Fisher on LinkedIn or email us at leadwithpurpose@opsexcellence.net.